All right, good evening, everyone. Joey with JLF Ranches and Outdoors here again. We're going to do a tutorial on how to change fan clutch on a 6.7 Cummins, specifically a Ram 5500 with the active air, whatever they call it. It's got all that extra crap in the way. Anyways, on my fan clutch, the specific failure was this piece right here. That was the bearing that was making the noise, and that is completely gone. This whole bearing, mounting bracket, everything, pigtail was ripped, luckily down here. Anyways, we're going to replace the fan clutch. While we're at it, go ahead and put a brand new serpentine belt on it, just to be on the safe side since we're already going to be there. So join us along for this adventure. All right, first things first, we're going to start by getting all this out of the way so we can access the fan shroud and get the fan shroud out. We'll get all this out of the way and give us a little more room to access down in there to get that fan clutch out. Somewhere I have a headlamp. Might as well utilize it. It's always good to have light, especially when you're trying to do this stuff at dark. Teenagers back. Just because that bar pisses me off, gets in my way every time I pull an air filter. Ta-da! So while we're at it, we will go ahead and put a new one of these in. Doesn't look bad. Full of butterflies. Just like that. Oh. Cut my zip tie that I put in to keep my harness on the engine side safe for the drive home. Do something right. A little pain to see, but right there is where the bearing used to be for the wiring. As you can see, mine's gone. Also, on the fan clutch, you have a bolt there. It's a pain to see. Try to get you a view in. But, anyways, right about, let's see, where is it? There's my laser. Right there. On each side is a little plastic clip you can push in by hand. Brings the whole fan shroud up after you take the top two bolts out. Push the clip. Push the clip. Bring it up. And looky there. I think they make that thing flexible. Holy shnikes. I can see clearly now. There's bolts that hold it down there. I don't want to mess with bolts on the ground. Guess I will. That's noisy. Oh, Bubba. 1 7/8. So it takes an 1 7/8 wrench to take this fan clutch off the pulley. Now, you can go get a fancy fan clutch tool, or just use a big 1 7/8 wrench. One of the first things I usually do is whack the crap out of it with a punch and a hammer, or use an air hammer. Needless to say, I'm not at the shop and I ain't starting my truck. Try to use the air hammer, so this is the next best thing. Bam. Just like that. So what do they say, use an air hammer. Aha! That did it. Sometimes it takes a few. Air hammer would have already been done. Angler on out, like so. Fans off. Make sure, orientation of the blades so you don't put it on backwards. Some of these are set up where you can't even put them on backwards, but just in case. Bearing don't even turn, just the whole thing turns. We looked up our torque specs, and typically if I'm looking for a manual for a newer vehicle, I use alldata.diy.com. You can get yearly subscriptions to a vehicle. Then usually if you have a subscription to one vehicle, additional vehicles they give you a break on. It's digital, so you can pull it up on your phone, tablet, anywhere you got internet service, or you can do what I've done to some in the past and print them out. And it's lots and lots of pages. It gives you schematics and everything. But anyways, according to All Data manual for a 2022 Ram 5500, these 6 bolts get torqued to 9 foot-pounds. On a 3/8, you have to be careful because at 9 foot-pounds, the thing doesn't really give you much of a click. You have to feel it break over. All right, as you can see, fan clutch is installed. Got it tightened up. I just got to get the little plastic retainer clip so I can clip that back to right there. Hook the wiring up. And we'll put the fan shroud and stuff back on. So, like a dumbass, I did not bother doing my belt while the fan was off. And I don't feel like taking it back off, even though it probably would be just as quick. It's still not bad with the there you go. Yeah, I could have taken the fan off and then put the belt on. Or done it before I put the fan on. But like typical mechanics, we get in rushes on trying to get shit done, especially when it gets late at night. And we forget things. Fun part. It's either going to sound good or it's going to go boom. Lots of dust. Anyways, that's how you change out a fan clutch on a Ram 5500 with a 6.7 Cummins in it. It's probably pretty similar to majority of the 6.7s, except some of them probably don't have that in the way, so that could be different on them. But if you're ever looking for information on how to change one as far as torque specs and whatnot, I wasn't having any luck finding them through forums or any of that. I already use all data for my other vehicles, so I just went and got the manual for this one. I'll put a link in the video description for all data, and you can go to there, sign up, purchase whatever subscription you need for whatever vehicle you need. They don't go very far back as far as age-wise. I want to say now they're probably only doing back into the 90s. They used to do back in the 80s, but every year they remove older ones to add newer ones. And then also, if you do not know of a good place to get filters for your Cummins, majority of Cummins owners already know of Gino's Garage, but Gino's Garage is another place to get filters. Their Fleet Guard, which is already designed for Cummins engines, and you can get them cheaper than you can at majority of any other parts stores in your town. Because this fan clutch went out during the summer, it did get hot, but not overheated to the point of worried about engine failure. We will be doing an oil change on it here pretty quick. I can't do it tomorrow, but we'll be doing it here in the next few days. I'm also going to go ahead and do a service on the transmission, and I use AMSOIL for all my oils. You can go and be a preferred member for AMSOIL and get a discount. Basically, it's like being a dealer, and you can get a discount on all your purchases. It actually comes out to about the same cost as most of your other decent branded oils out there. But anyways, y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and share the content. Y'all have a nice night.